Thank you for choosing to watch my video on advanced chattering. My name is Bill Wright and we're making this video at the Bertel Center for the Arts located in Bertel, Manitoba, Canada. So to start with, I'm going to use this trimming tool I've designed. It's got bevel ground on two sides to a point, and it's also smooth on the back so I can use it for burnishing. Get the clay off, and to start with, this bowl was made with forms that I've created, and it leaves a line between each layer, a small line. And so to take out that line, I bring my tool in contact with the surface on this side of center. You draw a line across the center of rotation. It must be on this side. On this side, the clay is moving away from the cutter. If I try cutting over here, the clay is going into the cutter, and as soon as I make a little movement with my hand, it goes in deeper, creates a gouge, and it's called what we call catch. It catches. So I want to stay on this side of center, and I start by rubbing the back and then tipping it down until the cutter starts to cut. That's called shear cutting. So while I'm touching the work now, the back is rubbing, I bring it in on an angle until it starts to cut. And at that point, it will make a very light cut. The bevel on the back of the grind creates control for how deep the cut can go. If you're a woodworker, you understand how a hand plane has a sole that keeps the cutter from going in deeper than what the blade is protruding. And I want to lightly scrape it straight across. I just scrape off the sharpness of the edge. Then I turn the cutter over and make sure that the cutting surface is turned up so it doesn't cut, and it rubs on the back side of the tool. I'm able to burnish the surface of the clay. I also want to burnish where I'm going to be placing the chatter marks. Now I better stop and clean out the bowl so that I don't end up with chips being pressed back into the clay. Now this is just about bone dry. We're just about ready to leave the leather hard stage here. So you can see how easily it is to make fine shavings at this point when it's just a bit past leather hard, close to being bone dry. Still a little moisture, create enough to make a dark surface to the clay, but it's on the drier side. So with this out now, I got all the lines removed. There's just a tiny bit of a line at the bottom, but it's consistent all the way around. I'm going to leave it. It looks nice. And now that we've got the bowl trimmed and we have the surface burnished, we will put in some chatter marks. And we're using the rounded nose nibbed chattering tool. And what I've done is designed a spring that's light in nature so it can flex easily, doesn't take high speed to make this thing create marks. And I've put it so that the nib is close to your fingers, so if you have artistic ability, if God created you with the talent that it takes to know what looks nice in terms of art, this tool will enable you to control the marks and make beautiful marks on the surface of your clay. So there's two different styles that will work for you. This is a straight nose nib, and this is round nose nib. So with the round nose nib now, I consider the center line. If I'm on this side, the clay is moving towards the cutter. So if I touch it here, the nib will still be in contact with the surface when it swings away. If I touch it on this side at a hook angle, the clay is moving away, so the marks become shorter. Now I want it to move away, but I also want to move away in such a way that leaves a trail. So I will hold this not in line with the direction of rotation, but I'll hold it like this, so when it catches and swings, it makes a more interesting mark. Okay, and it doesn't have to be fast, it can be going slow. I bring this up in contact with the surface. I'm going to go a little past center, and I'm going to tip it like this, so as I go, it will swing away. And then I'm going to move down. And there we have some amazing looking marks. I'll brush this off, move the camera in closer so that everyone can see the marks. Now to set these marks off, I have created some tools to make lines. And the material I chose to make the tools out of is the normal double-headed nails. So we'll start with the pointed nail, and we'll leave a mark to create a line just above the artwork. While this is spinning, I don't go perpendicular. I lay it down, so if there's any irregularity, it'll go up and down with the clay. And firmly holding it, touch it lightly, then I jumped out of the groove, and then I will go with a larger ended. Now what I did, I made a cone on the end, and then I ground the cone off to give me the diameter that I wanted. So in this case now, I'm going to put it in the same groove. And we'll go to the bottom of the design. I'll stop to see it's about 1.25 inches down. While that is turning, if I can see the blur from the artwork, okay, I need to be and if I speed the machine up a little bit, there, we've set the work off with 2 lines to create a border. Clean off the chips. And we'll move in closer so we can get a better picture. Thank you for watching this video on advanced chattering. So if you'd like to purchase a tool that will make your work increase in value, your first bowl should sell for more than the cost of the tool. Check the information at the end of this video on how to order a tool for your own studio. And they will work well for you, especially if you have artistic ability, so that you can control the placement and how much you need on the bowl. Thank you.